If you've ever sat down, looked at home prices in your area, and thought, this is insane, how does anyone afford this? You're not alone. You're not bad with money. You're not lazy. You're not doing something wrong. The math really doesn't work anymore. And there's a reason for that. A reason nobody in the mainstream financial media wants to talk about honestly. Welcome to Exit Velocity. I'm going to tell you exactly why you can't afford a house and who's really to blame. And I promise you, by the end of this episode, the world is going to make a lot more sense. Let's start with the numbers because the numbers are staggering. In 1985, the median home price in America was around $82,000. The median household income was about $24,000, so a house cost roughly 3.5 times what a family earned in a year. A single income could buy a home. One parent could work, one could stay home, and the house payment was manageable. Fast forward to today. The median home price is over $400,000 in most of the country, much higher in cities. The median household income is around $75,000. That's a house that costs more than 5.5 times the household income. And that's with two people working. In places like California, Washington, Massachusetts, the ratio is closer to 9 or 10 times income. People aren't imagining this. People Googling, why can't I buy a house and why are mortgage rates so high? They're not complaining. They're diagnosing a real mathematical problem. So what happened? How did we go from one income families owning homes to two income families being priced out? Here's where the mainstream story falls apart. You've heard the explanations. Greedy corporations, boomers not selling, not enough inventory, supply chain issues, interest rates, zoning laws, millennials buying avocado toast. All of those things have some truth to them, but they're symptoms. They're not the disease. The disease is upstream, and the disease is something almost nobody wants to name. The disease is money printing. Let me walk you through what actually happened. In 2008, the financial system nearly collapsed. You remember this. The housing bubble, the banks on the verge of failure, the panic. What did the Federal Reserve do? They printed money. A lot of it. They called it quantitative easing. They created trillions of dollars out of thin air and used it to buy assets, including mortgage-backed securities. They also slashed interest rates to basically zero. The story at the time was, this is temporary, an emergency measure. Once the crisis passes, we'll unwind it. We'll raise rates back to normal. We'll shrink the balance sheet. Things will go back to how they were. That never happened. The emergency measures became permanent. Interest rates stayed near zero for over a decade. Every time the economy wobbled, the Fed printed more. 2008, 2011, 2015, 2019, and then the biggest one of all, 2020, when they printed roughly $5 trillion in a matter of months. Think about that. $5 trillion created from nothing, injected into the financial system. When you print that much money, that money has to go somewhere, and it doesn't go to regular people. It goes to whoever is closest to the money printer, banks, hedge funds, private equity firms, Wall Street. Those people use that cheap money to buy assets, stocks, bonds, and yes, houses. Firms like Blackstone, Invitation Homes, and dozens of others bought up hundreds of thousands of single-family homes, turned them into rentals, and priced out the first-time buyer. They could pay cash. They could outbid you because they were getting their money at near zero interest rates from a system designed to favor them. Meanwhile, regular people were left competing in a market where the price of every asset, houses included, had been massively inflated by all that new money. This is what fiat debasement actually does. It doesn't just make your groceries more expensive. It makes every asset, everything you'd want to own to preserve your wealth, more expensive too. So now you're stuck. Your wages go up a little bit, maybe 2 or 3% a year, but home prices go up 6, 8, 10%. You're running on a treadmill that's speeding up faster than you can run. And the mortgage rates, they're higher now because the Fed is trying to undo some of what they did, but they can't actually undo it. The money they printed is still in the system. The asset prices it inflated are still inflated. All higher rates do is make it even harder for you to borrow, while doing nothing to bring prices back down to affordable levels. This is the real story. The housing crisis isn't about greedy sellers or lazy buyers. It's about a monetary system that prints money, gives it to the well-connected, and leaves everyone else to fight over the scraps. Now, what do you do about it? Because I don't believe in just complaining. I believe in exits. That's the whole point of this show. You can't fix the monetary system. You can't stop the Fed from printing. You can't force Congress to be responsible. That battle is lost, but you can exit. The exit is Bitcoin. Here's why. Bitcoin is the first asset in human history with a truly fixed supply. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, not 22 million, not 25 million if things get bad. 21 million, period. That number is enforced by math and a global network of computers that cannot be corrupted, cannot be bailed out, cannot be bribed. When the Fed prints another $1 trillion, that trillion dilutes every dollar in your bank account. It dilutes every asset denominated in dollars, but it cannot dilute Bitcoin. Bitcoin's supply is fixed. The only thing that can change is the price. And over time, as dollars get debased and Bitcoin stays scarce, that price goes up. This isn't speculation. This is just math. When the supply of one thing is infinite and the supply of another thing is fixed, the fixed thing wins over time, every time. So when people ask me, should I buy a house right now? My answer is maybe. If you need a place to live and you can afford it, sure, houses are useful. You live in them. But don't think of a house as a savings account. Don't think that owning a house is going to protect you from inflation. The house itself isn't the solution. The solution is owning the thing that the house is being measured against. Houses priced in dollars have gone up a lot. Houses priced in Bitcoin have gone down dramatically. Every year, it takes less Bitcoin to buy the same house. That tells you which one is the real savings technology. This is what exit velocity is about, finding the escape hatch from a rigged system, understanding what's actually happening so you can make decisions that protect you and your family. You can't afford a house because the money you earn is being debased faster than you can save it. That's not your fault. But what you do about it, that's on you. Next episode, we're going to talk about your retirement account and why everything you've been told about it is a lie. Until then, think in Bitcoin.